Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I'm going to be going over 4 lane combos that you can use in 7.31b to dominate the laning stage. A lot of these combos also have a lot of mid-game viability, so we certainly don't just have combos that only win the lane and then fall off and lose the game. These definitely scale. And so yeah, if you're excited for today's video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and literally every single day for the gameleap website, we're pumping out content like really good stuff that's going to help you get to the next level. If you're stuck, you don't know like why you're not gaining rank, and you think, oh, it's my teammates, or I don't know what it is. Is it my items? Is it my mentality? Is it my skill build, my talent build? I'm going to help you get a much more clear picture over on the website, so click the link down below, sign up, and I'll see you guys there. All right, getting into it. Our first combo is one that I'm very passionate about. I think Primal Beast is one of the best laners, if not the best laner in Dota right now. Uproar is broken. Trample is also an insane ability, which is his W, that's the one that stomps around, but Uproar is the one where you get 5 charges of it, and when you activate it, you get armor and bonus damage, as well as an AoE slow. So really, to put it simply, there's 2 things that are broken about this hero in my opinion. Number 1, Uproar just gives 10 damage at level 1. This is like kind of nuts. Like just the fact that you have an ability that you just click level up on and you just get 10 damage, which means Primal Beast can start the lane with like 80 damage. It's so easy to last it in CS. The hero also has a pretty good attack animation, so you just dominate CSing and last hitting. On top of that, Uproar is one of those abilities where if you really get good at it, you can optimize this spell like crazy. Activated with 2 charges, even at level 1, it's going to give you a bonus 30 damage. That's obviously pretty insane. You know, having 110 damage in the first creep wave, it's pretty easy to last hit and deny guys. Even though it only lasts for 7 seconds, that's pretty freaking insane. On top of that, if you don't really know how Primal Beast works, what you should understand is that Trample, his W, the stomp around one, does a set amount of damage, and then it also does damage based on your damage, right? And as a result, when you're playing Primal Beast, you want to pop Uproar when you get stacks, and then pop Trample. The combination of these 2 spells together basically can kill anyone from full at level 1 if they don't have a disengage spell. If you get 5 stacks of Uproar, and you click this shit, you will kill someone with Trample. That's how it works. So the lane combo is Primal Beast Tiny. Now you might be like, why Tiny? There's a lot of heroes in the game with Disable. Now, there's definitely plenty of combos that are good with Primal Beast. As I said, the main focus of this lane is the fact that Primal Beast is a stupid laner, so I frankly could have put a lot of heroes here. But why Tiny? I'm a big fan of Tiny because number 1, Primal Beast thrives off of levels. This hero has a level 1 spike, a level 2 spike, a level 3 spike, and a level 4 spike. It unironically spikes at every level. You might be like, Speed, every hero spikes at every level, but let me explain. At level 1, Uproar is just broken. Level 2, Trample plus Uproar is an insane amount of damage. At level 3, Uproar goes up by 10 damage per stack and goes from +1 armor to +2 armor per stack, which means if you get 5 stacks, instead of getting a bonus 5 armor, you get a bonus 10 armor. Instead of getting a bonus 75 damage, you get a bonus 125 damage. So this hero has a ridiculous spike at level 3, and then finally level 4 you take your stun, and if you don't know how the interaction between Primal Beast's stun is with his W, when you click these 2 spells together, because the W, the trample, is based on how many units you move, you use it while you're queuing when you're charging through, and it hits like 3 or 4 times on a hero. If you pop this with Uproar, it's like half of someone's health. I'm not kidding. Instantly gone. And so once again, why Tiny? Number 1, Tiny is a hero that naturally does not have to sap levels. This is a hero that in the laning stage typically blocks the small camp, dewards the pole camp, side pulls, drags waves. He can play off the wave. This is good with Primal Beast in general, because the more levels the better, as we talked about. The faster you hit level 3 on Primal Beast and get 5 stacks, the earlier you're gonna get a kill. And then the second thing Primal Beast needs is stuns. Pretty simple to understand. You kill people, I mean, you have Disable as Primal Beast, your E is a slow, your Q is a stun, but to be fair, you know, as long as you can bring them away from the tower, you're gonna kill them. Tiny has some of the best disables in the game. It's pretty easy to understand, they just heavily buffed Avalanche, it's basically a permanent stun now. It's a pretty insane stun, honestly. That's even in the laning stage, it's nuts. And then Toss is Toss. It's unbelievably easy to kill people in this lane, and I love the way that the XP dynamic works. And finally, the last thing about this combo, especially when it comes to the mid game, is the fact that Tiny is a hard initiator. You might be like, Primal Beast is? Nah. Honestly, it's more fun to play Primal Beast, and I think it's 10 times more effective when you can go in second. If you can go in second, it's much easier to find an ulti target, that isn't gonna, where your ulti isn't gonna get cancelled, especially pre-BKB, and you're actually gonna be able to get off trample. The problem I found with Primal Beast is if you play him as an initiator, it's very hard to use trample, especially until you have BKB. Even when you have BKB, you can get kited, right? So if you rush Blink, your shit gets cancelled and you get slowed. If you rush BKB, you don't have a Blink, and therefore people run away from you a lot of the time. So I really like when you have a hard initiator, and I feel like Tiny fulfills that role very well. The second lane here we got is Death Prophet and Treant. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I like this lane. Number one, Death Prophet and Treant are some of the best laners in the game. Death Prophet has some of the stupidest base stats in the game. As you know, Treant has some of the highest damage in the game, as well as some of the best level 1 and level 2 spells in Leech Seed and Nature's Grasp. But I would like to say, other than the fact that you're just going to win the lane through basically pure stats in this lane, like literally you're kind of just going to win the lane by auto-attacking the enemy constantly and harder than they will hit you because of Death Prophet's crazy attack range, good at, decent animation, good armor, good movement speed, good damage. The biggest thing for me here is the playstyle. Number one, the biggest thing Death Prophet lacks is Disable. Treant has 3 of them, right? He has 3 of them, and therefore, in team fights, when people are trying to disengage from Exo or get away, you can overgrowth. On top of that, the main way to kill DP is generally actually bursting her with auto attacks. You can try to burst her with nukes, and that's possible, but the thing about DP is, in a game of Dota, let's say the enemy team has a Zeus and a Skywrath, DP is definitely going to go Hood, or she's going to rush BKB, because that's what she can do. She does damage without damage items. And so, yeah, you don't really die to magical damage as much if you itemize around it. Even Yule's is an item that DP buys. It's technically very good against, magical damage and magical burst damage in some regards. So, you lack armor though, especially if you don't go phase boots. I personally go phase boots every game, but if you don't go phase boots, I recommend it, you really have no armor until you buy your Shivas later on, which is like a 4th item in most games. So what does Treant give? Armor. In fact, they recently buffed his living armor to be much more about the armor and a lot less about the heal. It's a very, very long duration that gives a stupid amount of armor, but doesn't heal very much. That's not a problem for Death Prophet. She doesn't need healing. She has built-in healing. She just wants magic resist, armor, maybe some status resist in like a halberd, and then some control, and Treant provides that for her. Coming in at number 3, we have probably the best kill lane out of all of these, which sounds insane, because it's like, isn't Primal Beast Tiny a stupid kill lane? Yes, it is, but that's generally going to be in the off lane. Even though I actually like Primal Beast in the safe lane particularly, I think it's impossible to lane against safe lane Primal Beast or an off lane Primal Beast that plays in the safe lane. Regardless, CMCK, this lane is something else. And the huge reason why is the synergy on the level 2 spike. If you have even a little bit of patience, once you hit level 2, this lane's, you're going to get a kill. Even against Primal Beast, you're going to kill him. Here's why. CM has 2 nukes at level 2. Most heroes don't get 2 nukes at level 2. They especially don't get 2 nukes that have effects that prevent you from auto-attacking, right? Most heroes that have 2 nukes, like let's say Lina, one of the nukes doesn't disable, and so it's not that good, right? Lina's level 2 spike, you don't take 2 nukes. It's like, it doesn't really matter if you do that much damage, it doesn't really control the enemy. It's not consistent, it's just like a ton of mana. CM, however, has 2 nukes, both that destroy your ability to right-click, and are on like a 0-second cooldown, and then CK has a stun, some of the best base stats in the game, at 325 movement speed, really high armor, and like 70 base damage, as well as an ability that reduces armor by 4 at level 1. Most heroes don't even have 4 armor at level 1, so you put most heroes to like 1 armor, 0 armor, or negative armor. And I can assure you, if you Crystal Nova someone, you Frostbite them, you CK stun them, and you pull them in with Reality Rift, they will either come close to dying or die. And it doesn't really get any weaker at level 3. CK then gets his crit, so he can sustain the lane, play the poke game. A good Crystal Maiden will always buy like 5 to 6 mangoes in a lane, as well as like 2 clarities, so she'll always have her spells up if she knows what she's doing. She gets her E at level 3, so then you get more mana on heroes that desperately need the mana in CM and CK. So this combo works in that way as well. And yeah, it just works. This is one of those lanes that level 2 spike. You can even kill at level 1. You're still pretty strong, right? But if you have a little bit of patience, don't overcommit your resources at level 1. Wait till that level 2. You can get kills off cooldown. Not kidding. Any position 4 should just die. If you're playing the CK, you should look to kill the position 4. Don't try to kill like the 5 armor spear breaker with charge bash, try to kill this, like, lion, or this, you know, this position 4 Mirana with no leap, right? She's still level 1, for instance. You know, you just hit level 2, she's level 1. Freest kill of your life. I can't stress it enough. And finally, last but not least, we have Troll Warlord and Io. This lane, man, it's brutal. It's brutal to lane against. Here's why. Troll Warlord is one of the best trading heroes in the game. His biggest issue is sustain. None of his abilities help him sustain, and when you trade a lot, you take a lot of damage. So Troll has sustain issues. You're laning with Io. Okay, sustain issues are basically gone. Number 2, Troll Warlord does damage by building up attack speed. So when you have attack speed, you build up your attack speed faster. That's how Fervor works. Troll's third ability. Every time you hit a target, if you stay on the same target, that target will just get walloped on. So when you're laning with Io, if you have Overcharge and Fervor, which you can take at level 2, you can instantly build up 5 to 6 Fervor stacks. It does not take a lot of time. Therefore, you will hit close to like max movement speed in the laning stage. It's like focus fire in the laning stage. On top of that, you might be like, okay, so maybe you can man up. Not really. When Troll's in melee form, he can give you a 60% miss chance, gets bonus armor and roots. So you can't really man up to it. So you might be like, what can you do against this lane? Well, hopefully you're playing like Viper, kind of. Like even Viper can easily die to Troll Io. This is just one of those lanes that stops. And here's why I really like this combo as well. Number 1, it jungles very quickly, which is nice. Like Troll can sometimes have a bit of a hard time jungling. Io really helps him out with that. The Io, if you really want to greed out, can even max spirits. You can take 1 point in tether, 1 in overcharge, then max spirits, and you can jungle with the Troll, and it's incredibly quick. So there's that. That's an option. But on top of that, what I really like is Maelstrom Troll with Io, because you get Spell Amp from Io's Overcharge. So Maelstrom gets buffed by quite a bit. You don't have to do this. You can still go Battle Fury. But the thing is, I really like a Maelstrom with Troll, because a big reason why people go Battle Fury on Troll is you have sustain issues in the lane, right? So Ring of Health is nice. You have mana issues because, once again, you're like spamming your nukes, and you have sustain issues. Your like base regens are horrible. I think his base mana regen's got to be one of the lowest in the game. It always feels so awful. Like you have to buy stick on this hero in most games. But Io just makes that not really a thing, right? You're just kind of like vibing, you know, and Troll's issues just go away in that regard. A big thing about Troll as well is like, I often feel that he gets kited. I feel like Io really helps with this. You're basically going to max out Troll's movement speed. Troll already inherently is going to have high movement speed because of his Q. It gives 45 bonus movement speed when maxed out. Io is going to amp that with tethers, so that combo works there as well. I wouldn't say there's too much other synergy. I would say Io old shard with tether when it's stun was really good, but they unfortunately removed that, so that went out the window. But man, any of these 4 lanes, guys, I gave you in this video, these 4 lanes, Primal Beast Tiny, Death Prophet Treant, CMCK, Troll Io, these are some of the biggest lane domination lanes in the game, hands down. Trust me on that. Most of them spike at level 2, frankly. A lot of lanes spike at level 3. These lanes spike hard at level 2. It is very, very difficult to lane against them, especially if you manage to get the lane close to your tier 1 tower. Nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm out. Peace!
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!